Let's get more perspective now on curbing suicide among the youth. With me is Youth Development Crusader, the founder of Scatter, Bayomi Okewa Ashiwaju. Thank you so much for joining us at this time. So, with this huge concern now staring us in the face, where have we missed it?
A lot, honestly. It's really something we shouldn't joke with. Suicide among young people, even among adults, but I'll be particular about young people because I deal with them a lot. And I was scared one day when I was in a church and a pastor did an altar call that if you have ever thought of suicide, come out. And I actually saw 15-year-old, 16, teenagers alike coming out to say, oh, they've attempted suicide. And I was like, wow, how did we get it wrong? So that was what prompted me to say, okay, let's begin to talk to these young people. Where did you actually get it wrong? Is it a problem from your family and all that? And guess what? I traced the major factor for suicide among young people to their families. There's a serious gap between parents and young people alike. The children and the parents, serious gap between them. And this is causing, and as a matter of fact, aside from that, you see parents putting pressure on their children. For example, I have a young girl who is about 17. And the kind of utterances that comes out from the mother's mouth to the child is killing, is demoralizing. Said, right. Are you sure I'm even the one that gave birth to you? But I'm not sure you can ever succeed in life.
These pressures that you talk about, are they new? Are they resurfacing? Or the fact that, many of us, can relate with these things that you're talking about now and yet have been able to surmount them. What makes it different this time around?
I think the age we have now, so many distractions, so many side attractions, as we can call it. People go on Facebook now and they see different things. People go on YouTube, they see different things. And they just feel, okay, I can't take it any longer. My mom said I'm not useful. My dad said I'm not too good son or daughter of his. Then let me just quit. Let me just kill myself. And they just give up. I think it's as a result of the age that we live in.
And as parents now, so we need to watch our utterances, watch our actions and all that. But talking about the influence of social media, we've heard about websites now that young people, children stumble on and then they get the suggestion to commit suicide. We have a young case now at present. But talking about the role social media plays in depression and suicide, what do you suggest?
Oh, yes, you are right that we have some websites that, we live in a crazy world. Permit me to say that we live in a crazy world where you see people do good things. You also see people do the direct opposite of the good things, the bad things, where we have websites that are saying, okay, you can come if you are depressed, you can come if you have ever attempted suicide, let's see what we can do to help you. We also have websites that are saying, okay, if you want to attempt this suicide, in fact, come click here and this is the best way to go with it. And so it's really baffling. But what I would just rather say, because I love to dwell more on solutions than the challenges than the issues, that for us, everybody, you, myself, and everybody that is that feels okay, they can succumb or they can overcome depression, they can overcome suicidal thoughts and all that. They should help others. They should help others out of it.
When you look at the statistics of suicide, Nigeria is certainly not faring well when you compare the country to other countries of the world. And I wonder what is at the core, or what is central or pivotal to this rising cases of suicide now. You have been dealing with so many young people.
Yes. Let's state economic hardship. And when a parent, for example, is not finding it easy at workplace, surviving, getting things done, and then, making the children happy at home. Sometimes transfer of aggression sets in, and who is always at the receiving end.
No, but when it comes to the issue of even economic challenges, Nigeria, although we know there are economic challenges, but Nigeria is not the worst economically challenged country, even on the African continent.
Yes, of course. Probably another thing is the issue of sensitization, orientation, telling people that, okay, we are not just like what you said now, we are not the worst. Understand? So let's see how we can manage it. Of course, I'm also aware, just like what we heard from the documentary, that the psychiatrists that we have in Nigeria, are they enough to take care of, mentally derailed persons or people who are suffering from mental illness? These are the issues. So if we can have more people that are involved in, mental illness cases and all that, psychiatrists, psychologists, then probably we would have a reduced number of suicide cases.
But sometimes you can't identify someone who wants to commit suicide. People are going through different kind of challenges and they have it bottled in and you wouldn't know. So at what point does the social worker or the psychologist or the psychiatrist come in?
Okay, this is it. For everyone around us, like we can actually, that's why we need to talk about some of these risk factors or the things that you see. Okay, take for example, if somebody's saying probably once in a while, you just hear him say, I'm tired of this world. Understand? But even through writings, now I've discovered that I have quite a lot of younger people that I work with, that I deal with, and through the poems that they write, I say this person is going through something. You see, you can't just write this and say it's an abstract. No, you are probably
something triggers it.
Exactly. So you are probably telling us what you are going through.
But is it not quite more troubling that young people, even at the age, even teenagers who don't even have any responsibility in life yet, who are not thinking of husbands or wives, or thinking of family responsibilities or anything, do you find them amongst those committing suicide?
What about the pressure they get from their parents? What about the pressure they get from the society? What about the peer pressure, of course? You understand? Okay, someone said, because my parent had already told me, if you fail that exam, this is what is going to happen to you, and probably you are telling your son something worse that he could not even imagine. Now, as a result of that, he may just feel, the moment he fails the exam, you just say, let me just go and die.
Yeah, but if we look at it critically, in our days, our parents tell us all those things, but what's the change? What's the difference between that time, the way we would take it that time, your parents would tell you, if you do this, in fact, I will cut off your ear or something.
Exactly.
And the children now.
The way they process such information now differs from the way we process it then. Then we are limited to them, like, okay, our exposure is limited to our parents. We see them as our alpha and omega. But these days now we have people who are influencing
different role models.
Yeah, different role models who are influencing young people. We have TV programs, we have movies that people watch and they think, oh, if this person could do this. You know, sometimes sometimes when you project a movie out there and you think it must play a corrective role, guess what? It's actually causing some people to be curious about, okay, so I can actually solve this problem going this route. Oh wow, let me attempt it. And you actually release the movie to play a corrective role. Unfortunately, people are beginning to
the opposite becomes
exactly. So the exposure these days differ, and I think it's.
How about the family system? The family is the number one.
Differ, and I think it's.
How about the family system? The family is the number one support system that we all know. That you have any issue, you go to your brother, sister, mother, father, or in fact the nuclear family or even the extended family. You have issues solved. And we also know that Africans were communal in nature, where the community takes care of everyone. But what is changing now?
And that's why I said that now there's a serious gap. Let me just say it this way, that parents should be closer to their kids. Now, one of the ways to actually prevent suicide is when you ask questions, direct questions, like, come, my son, have you ever thought of suicide before? And if the answer is the affirmative, then work on it. Check if this guy is isolating himself, if this guy is not doing what he usually, the things he loves doing.
Or he needs to be withdrawn.
Yes, so begin to notice and work something out.
All right, we have to leave it here now. Abayomi, thank you so much for coming on the program.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Right.